Welcome to the 2015 Best Robotics Competition, PayDirt, the first BEST game designed by former BEST robotics students. The BEST Inc. mining division has recently purchased a new mining location. The good news? The mine has already been started and contains several valuable ores in record-shattering concentrations. The bad news? It's too dangerous for workers. Well, too dangerous for human workers. BEST is looking for a robotic solution to repair the mine and retrieve the various ores from beneath the surface. BEST will be evaluating the companies as well as their prototypes in order to determine which company is best suited to operate the mine. The game will be played on a 24-foot by 24-foot field divided into 4 sections called shafts. Each shaft has 4 levels: the ground level, sub-level 1, sub-level 2, and sub-level 3. Ground level contains the robot starting area, scoring bins, and the spare parts rack. Sub-level 3 is a shared area. All 4 teams have access to sub-level 3. There are 5 types of commodities in different places within a shaft. Sub-level 1 contains coal and magnetite. Sub-level 2 contains bauxite and chalcopyrite. And sub-level 3 contains spodumene. All the commodities are arranged in order of increasing point value. The deeper you go, the more valuable the ore becomes. Each sublevel can only be accessed by going through a tunnel. Tunnel 1 leads to sublevel 1. It has a 30-inch by 24-inch opening, but one wall is made up of loose aggregate. This aggregate could become an obstacle if robots are not careful, but also can be scored in the robot starting box for 2 points each. Tunnel 2 leads to sublevel 2. The front and back openings in Tunnel 2 are both 24 inches tall and 24 inches wide, but the tunnel is crooked and it will be difficult for a large robot to pass through. Tunnel 3 leads to sublevel 3. This tunnel is 24 inches wide, but only 20 inches tall. Teams that want to access sublevel 3 will need to design robots that are able to fit through this opening.
Now let's talk about the commodities. In sublevel 1, a large section of the roof is comprised of 24 pieces of coal. Coal is represented by small, irregularly shaped stress balls made from foam. Coal can be released by moving the support beam that is holding it up. Rotating the support beam also serves as the tiebreaker. In the far wall of sublevel 1, there is a large deposit of loose magnetite, represented by golf balls. If the iron deposit is shifted, the ore will spill out onto the ground. The iron deposit holds 20 pieces of magnetite. In sublevel 2, there is a vein of bauxite that runs along the ground. Bauxite is represented by 2 to 3 inch balls of crumpled up aluminum foil. The aluminum vein is underneath an overhang and contains 16 pieces of bauxite. Also in sublevel 2, there is a minecart full of chalcopyrite. However, since its abandonment, the wheels have completely rusted off. Chalcopyrite is represented by combinations of 2 PVC fittings arranged in a large variety of shapes. The copper cart holds 12 pieces of chalcopyrite. Sublevel 3 contains what is quite possibly the world's largest spodumene crystal. It's too big to get all at once, but the smaller crystals can be broken off and brought back to the surface. The spodumene is represented by 2-inch by 2-inch by 9-inch blocks of wood, which are attached to the tower by a strip of reclosable fastener similar to Velcro. The lithium tower has 8 pieces of spodumene attached to its sides. Remember, all 4 teams have access to sublevel 3, and all 8 spodumene are up for anyone to grab. The 5 commodities must be placed in their respective scoring bin on the ground level. The robot can place the commodities in the bin directly, or leave them in the robot starting box for the spotter to move into the proper bin. From the spotter's perspective, the commodities are placed in the bins in the following order: coal, magnetite, bauxite, chalcopyrite, and spodumene, from left to right. Besides bringing the materials up to the surface, points can be scored for making repairs on the sublevels. The air filtration system on sublevel 1 needs a new filter. 100 points can be scored by installing the replacement air filter in the air filter slot. A water pipe on sublevel 2 is missing a section of pipe, and the gap needs to be patched. 100 points can be scored by installing the replacement pipe on the broken pipes. In order to determine future mining prospects, points can be scored by bringing a core sample back to the ground level for analysis. Core samples are represented by various lengths of PVC pipe on sublevel 3. They are stored largest to smallest from left to right in the core sample. Only one core sample may be scored per team per round, and must be scored on the spare parts rack in place of one of the spare parts. The larger samples contain more information and are worth more points. The shortest is worth 50 points, the middle length is worth 100 points, and the longest is worth 150 points.
Now, here's where things get interesting. During the seeding phase, all commodities have an initial point value. Coal is worth 5 points, magnetite is worth 7 points, bauxite is worth 10 points, chalcopyrite is worth 15 points, and spodumene is worth 25 points. During the competition, throughout the seeding and semifinal phases, the amount of each commodity scored will be recorded. Not just what teams score individually, but also what all the teams score collectively. At the end of each phase, the totals will be analyzed and the effects on the ore market will be determined. This effect is called the market shift. The market shift shows the results of overmining and undermining during each phase. Overmining a commodity, mining more than the average, will result in a supply surplus and the point value will drop. Undermining a commodity, mining less than the average, will result in a supply shortage and the point value will increase. Teams that wish to be successful in each phase should be able to adapt their strategy in response to unpredictable and substantial changes in ore point values.
Good luck and see you at the competition.